Greetings, my fellow gamers. I am Wraith King. Welcome to the Dark Kingdom. Today, I have had it. This is the last time. I don't even know if I want to buy a AAA game unless I see someone else play it first. I'm not pre-ordering any more games. I'm not buying any more games until I actually see somebody else play it who I trust. Because this is the last straw. I'm tired of AAA game companies releasing an unfinished product. I am sick of it. This is unacceptable. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. I don't care how good the game is, because it is. It's fine. If you can play it. I was just trying to play it with a couple of friends, and it constantly kicked us. It constantly crashed. And I'm playing solo. I'm at World Tier 15 right now, and I'm trying my best to get some loot alone. And every time I kill this boss in this encounter right here, it does this. It just crashes, and it throws me into the lobby. I still hear the world moving around me. I still hear things shooting at me. I am taking damage. This just pops up. It just pops up out of nowhere and says, "Oh, connection error." And then it kicks me into the lobby. I'm not a game developer. Why is it my job to test a broken game? Why is it my job? Why? Why am I doing your work? It's up to you to play test your game before you launch it. It shouldn't be that hard. It's easy. I'm just a regular guy. I don't have the money to make a AAA game. I don't have a really popular gaming company. I'm not a multi-millionaire or trillionaire. I'm just a dude. But yet I know, with the little experience I have with game development, to play test a game before I launch it. Even I know that. You know, I feel bad about preaching this. I feel bad about saying this about Outriders, because it's a fine game. Like, the game that's here is good. It's just covered in broken glass. Everywhere. It's buggy as heck. It keeps kicking people. And I guarantee you it's because this game is online. I guarantee you that's the entire issue, is that it requires internet connection. I just about guarantee you that's the issue. And this isn't the only issue I had. I don't know if anyone else gets this bug, but I was playing with my friends. And what happened is, not only did it kick me from the game, it gave me the blue screen of death, but it shut off my console. And I could not turn it back on. I'm using PS4 Pro, by the way. It shut it off, and I couldn't turn it back on. I kept pressing the button on my controller. Nothing was happening. I gave it a break for a moment, tried turning it on again with my controller, and nothing was happening. So what I did was I had to unplug my game system and plug it back in, and then it started turning back on. But then it started giving me the loading storage requirements, whatever that screen was. And you know that screen, whenever the power goes out and you're playing your game, and then it says, "Oh, computing storage requirements," or something like that. It gave me that screen, and it loaded up, it restarted, and then I could actually, play games again. How, like, what level of broken does a game require to shut off your console? I am very curious. Not only that, but this game has another issue on PlayStation. Now, this is a mechanical issue with the gameplay. Is every time I'm in combat, and I'm rolling, I'm dodging, or anything like that, every once in a while, my fingers accidentally touch, you know, that little pad in the center of your controller? They just brush against it. And then it goes to the pause screen while I'm fighting. And yes, enemies can hurt you while you're in the pause menu. I believe I have some footage of me doing this. I'm trying to fight a boss and a horde of enemies, and I keep accidentally pressing that button in the center of the PS4 controller, and it keeps, well, fading to black, then fading into the character menu. Then if I press back, it slowly fades back into combat. It is really, really frustrating. I don't understand why it's like this. I don't understand why the button layout is like this. I've never had this trouble before in a game where that button actually interrupted my combat. And you see, that options button is actually very active in other games. I've never had an issue with it like this before. And that tells me that whatever the problem is with the options button on this game is definitely, it's the game itself. It's not the controller, it's not my console. Whatever it is, it's just the game. It's something to do with the button layout, or maybe something's wrong with the sensor. I'm not entirely sure. It just happens much too often in this game for it to have anything to do with my controller. Because like I said, I've never encountered this issue before in other games, and that options button on the PlayStation 4 controller is usually extremely active. It's always has something to do, and you'll see me constantly cut in and out through the footage here, me accidentally pressing the button when I really don't want to. I don't know why it's doing that, and sometimes I just stop for a minute to just press the button myself deliberately, and it doesn't seem to respond. It doesn't seem to do much when I'm pressing it deliberately, unless I actually press down on it, and then it seems to bring me to the options menu. But in combat, I'm not sure. I'm brushing up against it every once in a while, but I'm not actually pressing down on it. So I'm not sure what is going on with the mechanics of that button, but there's definitely a problem there, and it needs to be addressed. I'm not sure if anyone else is experiencing this issue. Maybe it's just something to do with my game particularly, but the sensor for that button is really, really annoying. I don't know what the deal is, but I hope they get it sorted out, because it is a very horrible problem in a game like this where it's very fast-paced, enemies move quickly, and you need to be able to react to them fast, like these Marauder guys here with the hatchets and blades. They move very quickly, and you need to react to them. Not only them, but there are these bug enemies that move very quickly, and you kind of want to make sure you're not pressing that button, because it does slow you down quite a bit. The fade to black, I feel like, is a little unnecessary anyway with that menu. It should just fade into the menu. It just fades to black going into the menu, and it fades to black as you're going out of the menu, then fades slowly back into combat. I'm not sure why it does that, but it does. It's like it's in a very cinematic movie, and it's constantly fading into black and fading out of black. I don't get why that's even a part of the pause menu, and it's not just fading into the pause menu itself, or just quickly going into the pause menu. I'm not sure why it needs an in and out animation. I'm not sure why that's tied there, but it is. And it's extremely irritating. Not only is that a problem, but the connection itself in this game, I just don't understand. I'm not sure why it always just needs to be online. Then this wouldn't really be a problem with the button layout for me, because if it pauses, well, everything pauses. But all the enemies stop moving, everything is just pauses along with, well, my pause screen. So I don't really understand why there isn't like offline mode or anything like that, because this game could work just fine offline. I'm not sure why they have to have this always online. Even if you set it to friends only, or off, or private, that pause still does that. It still makes everything around you active. You're not really pausing the game, which is silly. I mean, it makes sense when you're playing online, but playing offline, I feel like the time freeze is pretty important. I mean, Warframe has it, for goodness sake. A very free-to-play game that I can play anytime I want without spending $60. In fact, you can play that entire game without dropping a dime. Expansions are free, weapons are free, warframes are free, heck, even skins are free. You can just earn money from them throughout the game just by selling things to other players. But on this, I had to pay $60 to deal with some silly... Sorry about the angry rant there. But really, this game does not feel like it's worth $60. It's just another looter shooter with loot that drops from killing enemies occasionally and going and fighting bosses that are cool. Don't get me wrong, a looter shooter is a good concept. It's always been a good concept. Why do you think games like Warframe, Borderlands, and Destiny are actually so dang popular right now? It's because the looter shooter genre is really darn good. It's wonderful. It's something that I don't think is ever going to die down because it's a concept that can be used over and over again in numerous different ways and be successful. But I digress. This game has so many problems to be released in its current state. I'm not entirely sure who thought it was a good idea to release it like this, really. It's just so unstable, and I know somebody had to have play tested this. I know I made the joke earlier of they're just not play testing it. I have a feeling they probably did, it's just that they didn't care. They play tested it, they saw the bugs, they said, yeah, this is unfinished, but who cares, let's release it so we can make money. I know I'm being harsh with this game, but it definitely deserves every bit of my wrath. And if you're having trouble with this game too, please, by all means, make a video on it, make a post about it, tell people about it. It's important. Why is it so important that we actually share this game's failure as far as the connection is concerned at launch? Is because, well, other game developers are going to be like, hey, it may be if we release something unfinished, we'll still make money off of it. Hey, I'm just going to go ahead and make a completely broken game and release it as is, and I'm going to make money off of it at launch, and if people complain enough about it, I'll fix it later. They're going to keep doing this. And you're going to make an excuse, oh, it's just a game. I know someone's going to be like that. It's just a game, who cares? If people continue to do this, if game developers continue to make products like this, we're going to start seeing this process everywhere. Not just in games, but in hardware, you name it, we're probably going to see it. They're going to release a product that isn't entirely working, and people are going to buy it, and then people are going to complain that, oh, this isn't working, oh, that's not working. Well, that's because they didn't completely finish it. But they made money, and that was the important thing to them. They don't really care if the product is working or not for you. The only thing they care about is if they have money in their pocket, and that's just unacceptable. So definitely bring this to light. I actually would recommend not buying this at all. Even if it gets fixed, I don't really think it's a good idea to buy this game, because that just tells game developers that they can release an unfinished game at launch, make money off of it, and fix it later, and make money off of it then too. This is a practice that needs to die out, and the only way I can think that we can actually punish game developers for doing things like this is simply by not buying their game. Whether it's fixed or not, don't buy it, because they're just going to keep releasing unfinished products. And I don't want to see this happening again. Because art takes time. I don't care how much you want to make. Art is art. It requires passion. It requires someone to actually give a flying fig if you want the game to be good. If you don't care about what you're making, it's going to be a broken, pointless, boring mess that nobody's going to like to play. Sure, you can rehash game mechanics like the looter shooter genre. Of course this is a looter shooter because it's popular. Looter shooters are good, like I said, and whatever you do, whatever gaming concept you come up with, it's probably going to be decent because, again, it is a looter shooter. It's bound to be good. If it's bad, well, it's definitely your fault. And I can tell you right now, if this game was not a looter shooter, it would fly right over everyone's head, because the story in this game really, you know, just in case you don't want spoilers for some reason, I'm just gonna leave it at this. You know the F word, like we hear that every once in a while. Like, people who swear a lot do use the F word quite a bit. But these people, it's like a part of their language. It means everything to them. It's in basically every sentence. Like, there's not a cutscene where someone doesn't drop the F-bomb. What human being talks like this? You know, I work in the public. I grew up around some serious potty mouths. And no one that I know who hasn't had some type of affliction drops the F-bomb as frequently as literally every character in this game. Your game can be mature without a bunch of swear words and still be wonderful. Bloodborne, for example, is an extremely mature game. Not a single swear word in it. But alright, that's all the time I have left for this video, my fellow gamers. This was just a quick one. I want to review this game, but as of recording this video, I can't even finish it. So, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And by the way, don't buy this game. Just don't. It's a looter shooter. They're everywhere. If you want to play a looter shooter, just play Destiny or Warframe. Just steer clear of this for now. If you want to buy it later when it's fixed, sure. Although I don't really recommend it because, again, I don't want to support this practice of fix it later. But if you want to buy this now, hey, it's your money, but I just wouldn't recommend it. In the meantime, my fellow gamers, take it easy for me, and please do have a blessed day. Bye. This is like... I don't know how many times it was at this point, my fellow gamers. Please just die. I just... Please. Please just die. No. No. No, I'm not waiting for this to load. I'm done. I'm done for the day. No, I'm done with this. Nope. Good night.